Hey gamers, today we'll be learning how to properly defend your net when it is your turn to challenge the ball. Note that this guide will not teach you proper defensive rotation, only the fundamentals of getting good powerful clears on the ball when you are next in rotation. The goal of today will be to practice good positioning in the net, making solid contact, and directing the ball where it needs to go after making contact. Having a good defense is a critical part of every Rocket League game, as the team that wins is often the team that concedes fewer goals, not the team that scores more goals. For a warm-up, let's work off any excess energy that we might have. Start with 20 jumping jacks. It may feel silly, but it's worth it, trust us. After this, check your monitor height, your chair distance, and anything else that you may need to reset from whatever task you were doing prior to starting this lesson. Next, hop into free play and just get used to sending the ball towards the net. You can use Rocket League's custom training tools for this, and getting some kind of clear. Don't worry too much about where the ball is going or about getting power for now. Then, when you are ready, we can head into drill number 1. For drill number 1, head into custom training and instead of selecting free play, select goalie instead. You can use whichever difficulty you prefer, but I'll be using the mid-tier difficulty for this. If you're new to the game, aim to block around 30% of the shots, and if you're experienced or gold or higher, aim for 70%. As mentioned before, defense is critical the higher in the ranks you go. Don't be afraid to use your reset shot key if you feel that you want another chance at defending a shot or you want to try something different when you go to defend. For exercise 2, now that we can clear shots, we want to start focusing on getting around the ball and directing it where our teammates are in the field. For this lesson, we're going to use the same difficulty that we used before, except this time we'll be sending the ball to an imaginary teammate. For the first shot, imagine that your teammate is on the left side of the field about halfway between the mid-mega and your goal. For the second, imagine that your teammate is exactly on the center of the dot of the arena, where the ball starts for kickoff. For the third, imagine that your teammate is on the wall, halfway up on the right side of the field in the opponent's half. Repeat this cycle until you run out of shots in the training pack. This may take a bit of getting used to, especially if your only prior experience in defending is simply to send the ball away at all costs, but it does get easier with practice. Being able to place your clears will allow quicker transitions to offense, which can catch opponents off guard in most of the ranks. Again, aim for around a 30% success rate if you're new and around 70% if you're experienced. For drill 3, instead of aiming for a powerful clear, we're instead going to work on controlling the ball after a touch in the net. This time, when you make contact, aim to be able to get another touch on the ball, often called one more in comms. This will often catch opponents off guard as they're used to simply zooming around the field playing boom ball. Aim for at least one touch on the ball after initial contact if you are new, and 2 to 3 following touches if you are at least gold. Now, it's time to put all these drills together. Play 5 ranked 3v3 games and focus on making solid contact with the ball, passing to your teammates when they are in position, and controlling the ball when you have no other options. Don't worry about your position and rotation, just do your best to avoid accidentally bumping your team. After each game, review the scoreboard and assess yourself. Did you defend your net well? How many shots did you save and how many did you miss? As you play more, you will start to feel more confident in the net, and having an arsenal of shots to pick from while defending will make it very difficult for your opponents to guess where your clear will be. Looking back at the lesson today, what do you feel went well? Were you able to make good contact, or did you always feel like you were out of position? Did all of your clears make it to the other side of the field, or were they immediately returned by an opponent? As you become more confident in your defending ability, you can start working in more mechanics into your clears, making it doubly hard for your opponents to prevent the counterattack. If defending felt weird in the car that you were using, you can also change it up. I've made Octane for the past 3 years, so that's what feels most natural to me. However, car choice is entirely personal, and what works for one person may not work at all for another. Feel free to experiment with different cars and hitboxes until you find one that works the best for you. In the future, we'll be explaining how to incorporate good backward defense and rotations into your defense to make you and your team completely unstoppable.